Section 31 is already setting up a big Star Trek disappointment. There was a time when Section 31 was Star Trek's best-kept secret. First teased in Deep Space Nine, this shadowy organization operated in the margins, manipulating events from behind the scenes to protect the Federation, even if it meant violating every value the Federation held dear. Ruthless, enigmatic, and morally murky, Section 31 was a brilliant commentary on the paradox of utopia. If a paradise like the Federation exists, who does the dirty work to keep it that way? But now, with a long-gestating movie finally greenlit and Michelle Yeoh reprising her role as Emperor Philippa Georgiou, Section 31 is stepping into the spotlight. And that's exactly the problem. Because Star Trek is already making the same mistake it's made before, taking something mysterious, dangerous, and nuanced, and overexposing it. Section 31 isn't built to lead a story. It was designed to haunt the margins of one. And if early signals are anything to go by, this is shaping up to be one of Star Trek's biggest disappointments. From deep shadows to center stage, in Deep Space Nine, Section 31 was introduced with subtle brilliance. Dr. Bashir was approached by the calculating Luther Sloan, who recruited him not with fanfare, but with quiet menace. There was no flashy tech, no grand base of operations, just a conversation in the shadows that revealed how deep the rock could go in an otherwise idealistic system. They operated without oversight, and the Federation officially denied their existence. That's what made them terrifying. But when Star Trek Discovery Season 2 brought them back, the tone shifted. Suddenly, Section 31 had ships, logos, uniforms, and even its own artificial intelligence gone rogue. Hello, Control. And now, with a standalone movie titled Star Trek, Section 31, the secret's out. Literally, the allure of mystery is gone. Section 31 worked because they were unseen, unknowable. They weren't supposed to be a recognizable brand within the Star Trek universe. They were meant to challenge the viewer's belief in the Federation. Every time Sloan appeared in DS9, the audience was asked, is the Federation truly good? Or is its cleanliness only possible because of hidden dirt? By giving them a central role and stylizing them into a flashy Black Ops team, Star Trek is diluting what made them effective. When something built on secrecy becomes mainstream, it loses its edge. It becomes spectacle instead of substance. It's not unlike what happened with the Borg. Once terrifying and near invincible, the Borg Queen and repeated appearances turned them from existential threat to recurring villain of the week. Section 31 is on that same path, and Star Trek fans should be worried. The Georgiou problem. Michelle Yeoh is phenomenal. That's not in question. Her Emmy, her Oscar, her sheer screen presence, she elevates any material she touches. But the character of Emperor Georgiou comes with baggage. She's not just morally gray, she's an actual dictator from the mirror universe who committed atrocities. While her character was given a redemption arc of sorts in Discovery, it always felt a bit incomplete. And now she's the face of Section 31? This move risks simplifying Section 31's entire ethos. Rather than exploring the complexities of Federation morality, it seems likely the movie will become a story about Georgiou's personal redemption, and in doing so, turn Section 31 into a blunt instrument of good disguised as gray. That's antithetical to their original purpose. Worse, it could confuse audiences about what Section 31 even is. Is it an off-the-book CIA? A morally flexible strike team? A Federation-backing vigilante club with dark capes and even darker ethics? A movie risks answering all those questions in the wrong way. Section 31 was meant to be a warning, not a role model. What made Section 31 resonate in DS9 was that it wasn't cool. It was horrifying. Sloan wasn't charming, he was chilling. He represented what people will justify in the name of peace and stability. His manipulation of Bashir was meant to make the audience uncomfortable. You weren't supposed to root for Section 31. You were supposed to question how far is too far. But now, the early teasers for Section 31 show sleek visuals, Georgiou front and center, and an action-heavy aesthetic. It's giving big franchise energy more mission, impossible than measure of a man. And if we're being honest, that's the disappointment in the making. Star Trek is poised to glorify the very thing it originally warned us about. Star Trek's recent trend towards spectacle. This isn't happening in isolation. Recent Star Trek has seen a sharp tilt toward action-heavy, morally simplified narratives. Star Trek, Picard Season 3, while nostalgic, sidelined deeper philosophical questions in favor of battles and betrayals. Discovery, especially in its earlier seasons, struggled with balancing character arcs with coherent world building. Even Strange New Worlds, though critically beloved, occasionally flirts with spectacle over substance. In that context, Section 31's transformation into a big-screen action vehicle is unsurprising, but still disappointing. There's a rich, deeply Star Trek story to be told about Section 31. One that wrestles with moral ambiguity, Federation hypocrisy, and the high cost of utopia. But that doesn't play well in marketing campaigns. Instead, we're likely getting explosions, martial arts, and vague, for the greater good dialogue. What a good Section 31 story could have been. Imagine this instead, a slow-burn political thriller in the vein of The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. A young idealistic Starfleet officer accidentally uncovers Section 31's operations and is drawn into a game of espionage, only to discover the horrifying truth that the Federation's hands aren't as clean as they thought. Maybe they're recruited. Maybe they resist. Either way, the story ends not with a bang, but with a quiet reckoning. Is peace worth compromise? Is ignorance truly bliss? That kind of story would honor Section 31's legacy. It would challenge viewers. It would make them uncomfortable. And, most importantly, it would feel like Star Trek. But instead, we're likely getting Philippa Georgiou doing spin kicks in a corridor while a generic villain monologues about control and chaos. It'll look cool. It'll trend on social media. But it won't leave a legacy. Risking the same mistake twice. This isn't the first time Star Trek has overreached. Remember Star Trek: Nemesis? A movie that tried to be Star Wars and failed spectacularly, forgetting what made the Next Generation crew beloved in the first place. Or Into Darkness, which tried to remix Wrath of Khan into an action blockbuster and instead delivered one of the most divisive entries in the franchise. Section 31 risks being the next in that line. An idea stretched beyond its natural scope. A concept that worked because it was used sparingly, now being dragged under the spotlight and asked to carry a fill. Some things aren't meant to be center stage. The fan divide is already visible. Among longtime Trekkies, the Section 31 movie is already sparking division. Some are excited purely because Michelle Yeoh is returning, and fair enough, she's a powerhouse. Others are cautiously optimistic, hoping the writers find a way to recapture the organization's original nuance. But many are voicing what needs to be said. Not every part of Star Trek needs a spin-off. Not every compelling concept needs to be blown up into a spectacle. And not every dark corner of the Federation needs to be sanitized with a redemption arc and a happy E.